Imagine an underdog closing in on the champion. Every step, every heartbeat, the crowd holding its breath. The tension is electric, the stakes higher than ever. Africa's economic race is just as thrilling, unfolding across bustling cities and vibrant streets where ambition and innovation pulse through daily life. For decades, South Africa has stood tall as the continent's economic heavyweight, its industries, infrastructure, and financial systems setting the pace. But now, Nigeria is surging forward, rewriting the rules and challenging the status quo. The big question looms. By 2030, will Nigeria overtake South Africa as Africa's largest economy? Experts and leaders are watching closely, debating what the future holds. South Africa is the seasoned champ, stable, experienced, and respected, but now facing new challenges from shifting global markets and internal pressures. Nigeria is the bold challenger, young, energetic, and unpredictable, with over 200 million people fueling its rise. Its youth are driving a wave of entrepreneurship and digital innovation. It's not just about GDP, it's about a shift in power, influence, and opportunity for millions. Education, technology, and investment are reshaping the playing field. This is a classic battle of established power versus rising ambition, a contest that will shape the destiny of a continent. The outcome could redefine Africa's future, inspiring a new generation and shifting the global balance. The next few years will decide who wears the crown, who will lead, and who will follow. So let's dive into the race that could change everything for Africa and perhaps the world. As of 2025, South Africa still leads the economic race in Africa, holding on to its reputation as the continent's most developed economy. But Nigeria is right on its heels, closing the gap faster than ever before and making this rivalry more intense with each passing year. South Africa's GDP sits at about $400 billion, a figure that reflects decades of industrialization and economic planning. This wealth is built on a foundation of mining, finance, and manufacturing, with gold, platinum, and cars driving much of its prosperity. Its diverse economy has long attracted investors seeking stability, making South Africa a magnet for international business and capital. Nigeria, once dependent on oil, is now rapidly diversifying, with new sectors emerging and transforming its economic landscape. Its GDP is nearly $395 billion, closer than ever before, and the difference is shrinking with every quarter. Nigeria's 2014 GDP rebasing revealed booming sectors like tech and Nollywood, briefly putting it ahead and showcasing the country's untapped potential. South Africa reclaimed the lead, but the competition has never been this close. The gap is razor thin, with both countries watching each other's every move and economic report. Now, a single strong year for Nigeria or a weak one for South Africa could flip the rankings overnight, making every economic decision critical. South Africa relies on its established industries and a legacy of infrastructure, but faces challenges from global shifts and local pressures. Nigeria is powered by new ideas, relentless growth, and a young, ambitious population eager to innovate and disrupt. The stage is set for a dramatic finish by 2030 as both nations push for the top spot in Africa's economic hierarchy. Every percentage point of growth matters now, and the world is watching to see who will come out ahead. The race is neck and neck, and the outcome is anything but certain. Nigeria's greatest asset? Its people, over 220 million, mostly young and ambitious. This massive, youthful workforce drives innovation and creates a huge domestic market. Lagos is now Silicon Lagoon, with fintech giants like Flutterwave and Paystack transforming Africa's digital economy. Nollywood, the world's second-largest film industry, exports Nigerian culture and creates millions of jobs. Nigeria is also betting big on solar energy to solve its power woes and fuel future growth. The combination of tech, creativity, and renewable energy is reshaping Nigeria's economy. It's a new model for African growth, dynamic, digital, and driven by people. This is the engine behind Nigeria's push for the top spot. South Africa's economy is built on strong foundations, world-class finance, mining, and manufacturing. But cracks are showing. Unemployment is among the world's highest, especially for youth. The energy crisis is crippling, with rolling blackouts stalling businesses and growth. Political uncertainty and corruption have made investors wary. These challenges are like weights holding back a powerful runner. South Africa's strengths are real, but so are its obstacles. The country's future depends on fixing unemployment, stabilizing energy, and restoring confidence. Without bold reforms, its lead is at risk. The race is no longer just about strength, but about adaptability. Can South Africa hold on, or will it stumble? What will it take for Nigeria to overtake South Africa by 2030? This is a question that has intrigued economists and policymakers alike. Nigeria needs to sustain 5–7% annual growth, fueled by its young population, tech, and creative industries. The energy and innovation of its youth are key drivers of this potential growth. Reforms to improve business, fight corruption, and stabilize the currency could accelerate progress. These changes are essential for creating a more conducive environment for investment and development. Millions of young Nigerians entering the workforce could create a powerful economic cycle. This demographic dividend could be a game changer for the nation's economy. South Africa's growth is projected at just 1–2% per year, hampered by energy and job crises. These issues have created significant barriers to economic progress. Unless it enacts major reforms, its pace will remain sluggish. The need for structural changes is urgent to revive its economic momentum. If trends hold, Nigeria could surpass South Africa as early as 2028. This would mark a significant shift in the economic landscape of the continent. But surprises like commodity booms or political shocks could change everything. These unpredictable factors add a layer of uncertainty to the projections. The momentum is with Nigeria, but nothing is certain. The path to 2030 is fraught with challenges and opportunities. The next 5 years will be decisive. The actions taken now will shape the future of both nations. This isn't just about bragging rights, it's about Africa's voice on the world stage. The continent's largest economy shapes global policy and attracts investment. If Lagos replaces Johannesburg as Africa's gateway, West Africa could see a surge in capital and opportunity. Nigeria's rise signals a shift from resource dependence to innovation and entrepreneurship. It's a new model for African growth, inspiring other nations to harness their own talent. Healthy competition pushes both countries to reform and improve. The real winner, Africa: more jobs, better infrastructure, and rising prosperity. This race is a symbol of Africa's transformation. Whether Nigeria takes the lead or South Africa rebounds, the continent benefits. The world is watching as Africa's future is rewritten. Projections favor Nigeria, but the race isn't over. Nigeria's potential is huge, but challenges like security and corruption could slow it down. Success depends on turning energy and ambition into real, lasting growth. South Africa's resilience and strong institutions mean it can't be counted out. If it tackles its crises, a comeback is possible. This contest shows Africa's diversity and dynamism. As these giants compete, they're shaping a more prosperous continent. The final whistle for 2030 hasn't blown. Africa's story is still unfolding.